go on board with Scott. Red lights, 5 red lights, and the way away. Scott gets a quite decent start. We'll jump on to Kirby there at the back. The clamp to settle in behind Scott. At turn 1, a bit out of shape there with Verklempt. We'll drop down to Lord James. A little bit of a gap forming there between Lord James and Verklempt. We'll jump on to Verklempt, who's going alongside Scott here to put some pressure on the cash app. Scott gets a good exit and is away in first. Verklempt, Lord James in P3, Tarriott P4. First with Rizzlers, JB, Vapid alongside JB, who's got the balls here. Oh, it's JB a bit later on the braking, and Scott leads the drivers' cars around turn 3. Verklempt, Lord James, Tarriott, Rizzler, JB, and who's this coming here on the outside? It's Vapid. We've got the inside of the JB. JB's back in front. Who's got the better exit? JB and Vapid side by side. Vapid's got his nose in front a little bit. Great battling here. JB just tucks in, and Vapid still has to settle in P7, and then the Red Bull of Angelo in P8. Is Scott then leading them into turn 3 for the third time. The Williams, Verklempt, as Vapid and Angelo are swapping positions. We'll move down to that little battle, Red Bull versus Ferrari, and it's a Red Bull who's got past Vapid into turn 4. As he got there before Vapid, yeah. Well, James out putting pressure as these three, a little bit of a gap between these three, and LTK Tarriott. He's got Rizzlers looking for a move. Who's going to be late on the brakes? It's Rizzlers, is it? Yeah. And LTK Tarriott has to stuck in behind, settling in nicely into turn 3 with Verklempt and Lord James. And Rizzler's caught up to the back of these. There wasn't one second gap, but he certainly put the pressure on Lord James now. As Deaton and Kirby swapping positions, we'll just move down to that little battle, Red Bull versus McLaren. So, and Vapid gets past JB for the third time. Deaton and Kirby swapping positions again. Angelo with the fastest lap, a 1:13.7 for the Red Bull driver in P6, and now we've got 4 cars now coming up to turn 3, led by Scott in the cash app, racing Red Bull, followed by Lord James now in P2. We've got Verklempt demoted to P3, Rizzlers in P4, and got a little gap then to LTK Tarriott Mercedes. Angelo 2 seconds to catch up to the back of Mercedes Tarriott. So look at these now, nose to tail, all 4 cars around turn 1. We've got a battle there as well for P11, and here comes Lord James and Scott. Scott will brakes a little bit later. He's got the better exit as Verklempt gets swaps positions with Where's My Rizzler, Tom Goring and JB. Verklempt back up to P2. Sorry, we can't see the battle with JB and Tom Goring because we can't leave this battle alone, as Verklempt a little bit later on the braking, but the inside line for Lord James keeps him in P2, but Verklempt is fighting. Who's going to get the better exit from turn 5? And it's Scott in the lead from Ferrari. Lord James, Verklempt P3, Rizzlers and Tarriott joining in now. Verklempt's in the Williams in P3, Rizzler, Tarriott, and look at Angelo. Made a dent in that gap between himself and Tarriott in P6, as Scott sets the fastest lap of 1:13.4. Tarriott settles in behind Angelo, who's up to P5 now, as they're all going in the pits. Like I say, it is drying out a bit. I suppose intermediate tyres will be getting warm. Tarriott decides to stop out for another lap and leads the field quite considerably as well. Everybody put their hands on the set Vibes and Deaton, who's put mediums on straight away. Vibes gets past Tom Goring, who's on hards. So LTK Terrier leads 16 seconds, is his advantage, as Angelo is up to P5 again. Track still a bit damp, but I don't think it's damp enough for these intermediates now, as Terrier jumps in the pits. Terrier just comes on track behind the Ferrari of Lord James, so that's Terrier into P3. Tom Gorian gets past Kirby, but's going in the pits. Now then, what's up with Tom? As Sam picks up a pen. Tom is deciding on the Mercedes, on the mediums, and gets a new front wing. Verklempt up into P3, getting past Terrier. Ooh, Angelo with a pen. That's not going to help him much. Here's Scott using his ERS now as Lord James takes the lead. Ferrari. Oh, here comes Scott. A little bit later on the brakes. So who's got the best? Oh, a little bit of contact. Nothing much in it, but this is let Verklempt joining the battle now. Nothing much separating these first three. Scott then hanging on to P1 as Lord James goes a little bit wide, and Verklempt puts the pressure on for P2, but Lord James a little bit later on the braking at turn 6. Angelo tucking in behind the Mercedes as Verklempt and Lord James are close, and Lord James keeps hold of P2 with a little bit of a better exit from the Williams driver Terrier. Here comes Angelo, and that's Angelo up to P4. And oh, he's gone a bit wide, and Terrier cuts back in, regains P4. But Red Bull, oh, where are you going, Angelo? Tom Goring with the fastest lap with 1:12.8, and Angelo lost a place there to Rizzlers and Angelo looking for that P4 position behind Terrier, as Angelo picks up another penalty. Now then, must be something going on. Well, Tom Goring's not got a front wing, as Terrier, Angelo, Vapid and JB have gone in the pits. Scott puts his car in front. So he seems to be having a look. Oh, we're on board with Lord James as he hits the wall. I think that's a front wing as well for Lord James. In P2, is he intact? No, he's lost his left end plate. As Verklempt gets past Rizzlers in for P2 on turn 3. Lord James down in P10 after that mishap. He'll be going in the pits, and Scott leads them out on lap 20 with Verklempt P2. Rizzler having a little bit of a look, and so is Terrier in P4. Top 3 are all on hards, which is interesting. As Vibes and Deton. Vibes got that upper hand. Kirby gets past Deton to Tom Goring up to P10, and there's a yellow flag. And that is Scott. Clear track in front with a clear air. Will we see him pulling away from Rizzler in P2? But here comes Rizzler. A little bit later on the brakes than Verklempt. And on the inside is LK Terrier as well. Oh, a little bit out of shape. That's unfortunate for Terrier. Angelo up to P2 is Angelo after a superb move on at turn 3. So from P13 on the starting grid, Angelo is up to P2. He's got the inside line here on the Mercedes of Terrier. Just that's something. Oh, McLaren Deton loses an end plate. There's a yellow flag for that incident. It's unfortunate for Tom. He just lost the grip of the car. I don't think it was any fault of his myself. Well, that's my opinion. JB with the fastest lap of 1:10.1. But Angelo has got a few penalties. Needs to get past the Mercedes. Interesting line from Angelo as he takes the lead from Vapid. That is a cracking line from Angelo. Pulled a couple of tenths on Vapid in P2, who's in AI. He's back on it. I was just going to send him an invite. Tarrier in P3. Verklempt gets past Rizzlers for P4. Lord James sets fastest lap 1:10.0. Tom Gorian up to P9. Lord James struggling at the back. He's just set to the fastest lap. That's told me shut up on it. 1:09.2 as Angelo and Vapid. Angelo's on AI. For some reason, Tarrier's in the lead. We missed all the action there at the front, didn't we? Tom Gordon picks up a penalty. Unfortunate that is for Tom. The Rizzlers then past Verklempt now. Up into P4 as we are 2/3 of the race gone. Back at the front though, we've got Tarrier with Angelo, Vapid and Verklempt and Rizzlers. As Rizzlers, Vapid's made a bit of a mistake, has he? No, he's just slowly out of turn 3. Lord James 1:09.153 and now just 7 seconds behind Sambo. 2 laps ago he was 14 seconds. But Angelo back in the lead. There's Vapid down a couple of places as well. Lap 25. And there's Tom Gorian up to P8. Enjoying these medium tyres as Tom. And Scott, Tom Gorian and Kirby side by side around turn 6. It's Kirby. He's got the upper hand. There comes Tom on the inside line. Gets a cracking exit from the little kink, turn 8, and leads the Red Bull of Kirby as Verklempt gets past LTK Tarrier, does he? Neck and neck, side by side. Williams and Mercedes. It's Tarrier who's got the upper hand. He's coming to turn 3. Here comes Verklempt on the inside, who's got the better exit. Verklempt and Tarrier on board with Verklempt. Here's Tarrier alongside. There goes Tarrier into P2. Now he's going to be later on the braking here. Not much between him, but the inside line for Verklempt sees him take P2. Tarrier's in P3. Proper camera angle. And there is JB. Where's my Rizzler and JB? We're side by side, but JB's just got the upper hand. Williams P2 and 4 now. Angelo leading by 2 to 3 tenths now from Verklempt. But Angelo will be using his battery, will he? Sort of. JB with the fastest lap of 1:08.6, and there goes JB on the inside of Tarrier to take P3. Williams then 2 and 3. We start lap 27 of 36. Vibes with a penalty. Tarrier and JB battling it out as 3 abreast. JB, Tarrier and Rizzlers. Tarrier's up to P3 as they're coming down. Who's later on the braking? Tarrier down to P5. Rizzlers up to P3 a bit later on the braking. Has he got a decent exit? Looks like it. Holds on to P3. JB on. Scott set to 1:08.4 on. He's up into P7. Lord James has got past Sambo and Tarrier regains P4 from JB. Tom Gorian up to P7 as Rizzlers takes the lead. Having a cracking drive is Rizzlers on 18 lap old hours as Angelo drops to P4. Lord James with his fresh softs on, hoping to make some impression on the gap as Angelo regains P3 from Tarrier. I'm going to have a drink because my mouth is absolutely tickling its head off. Angelo with fastest sector 1 there. Vibes takes Kozlesko for P10, but we're on board with Angelo and Verklempt. As Angelo takes P2, but Verklempt's got the inside line. Angelo still sticking his front wing in front, and then that's P3 for Verclem as Angelo gets a better exit and pulls away from the Williams driver in P3 with LK Tarrier. JB a couple of seconds behind these now, who's got Vapid. Over the back of him, Scott and Tom Goring battling out for P7 as well. Lord James sits a 106.2. Unfortunately though for him, it's P14 at the moment. Wow, and now they're in a little battle as Scott and Vapid exchange positions. Scott up to P6. Vapid down into P7 as Tom Goring flies past him as if he wasn't there. Rizzler's still ahead from Angelo, Verklempt and Tarrier. Tarrier's having a look at Verklempt. Verklempt holds on to P3. Now then, who's going? There's 4 cars, 2 of them side by side with each other. Tarrier's up to P3 and Angelo regains the lead. Coming down into turn 4. Sorry. Vibes gets past Glasgow in P10. I do apologise for the coughing. As for Clem and Tarrier, we've got a yellow flag, and it's a Lord James has decided enough is enough. It's unfortunate for Lord James, like I say, he had a right good battle before the safety car come out. As Scott is up to P5. Scott, there's contact there between JB and Tom Goring, and that's Tom Goring out and a safety car. We just saw that. Rizzler stayed out on 23 lap old hards with just 3 laps to go, and it's going to be a sprint for your lead. Oh, JB's retired. What's happened to JB? Oh, he's there. Oh, what's happened to JB? That's unfortunate for him because he was going well, was the JB? Really was going well. Rizzler's is away, followed by Angelo. Angelo looking on the outside on turn 1. And that's Angelo in the lead. On the faster, softer tyres. I think Rizzler's may lose another position to Verklempt. Yeah, he does. But I think Rizzler's made the proper good decision to stop out because he's going to get some good, valuable points. But Angelo pulling away half a second. Tarrier and Verklempt. Give us that's a cracking view. 3 cars side by side going round turn 4. Superb driving that is. While these are battling, Angelo's gone 1 second in front, but brilliant driving from Tarrier, Verklempt and Rizzler's there. And here comes Scott. And Rizzler's dropping down the field after a spin. Angelo then a second in front. Could do with a couple of seconds advantage on this final lap. Can't see him doing it. He might drop down. There's Rizzler's with a penalty. So unfortunate for Rizzler. Going so well as Verklempt up to P2. Tarrier unfortunately doesn't get the drive out of turn 3. Vapid's up to P4. Vibes. Kirby. He's made his way through the field as Kirby as well. Up to P6. But we'll go down up the... I'll get him out in a minute. We'll go up to your P1 with his hands on and it's a second and a half, which isn't enough, I'm afraid, for the win because he's on 6 seconds of penalties to Verklempt's 3. But Tarrier hasn't got Verklempt hasn't got any pens and will take the win. But it's Angelo first past the post, drops down to P6. But your race winner is Verklempt. Getting driver of the day from myself. But Verklempt in the Williams. In the Williams. Takes a well-deserved win.